Hey guys, just your average Joe here doing a movie reaction review, I guess you can call, non-spoiler to the brand new Godzilla vs Kong that just dropped today on HBO Max and in theaters. I, of course, would have preferred to see it in theaters, but I had no one to go with me, and I just at this point, not that I'm afraid to go to the movies, but I just feel a little uncomfortable going. So I just decided to look. I woke up early this morning, I had some coffee, and I watched Godzilla vs Kong, albeit on a smaller screen, but I'll take what I can get, especially since it's free. So look, this is a movie that I've been waiting for a while. Ever since we got the first trailer, ever since even before that, even before when it was first announced. I saw the original Godzilla from 2014, I should say, not the original. I did see the older movies when I was younger, but I saw the 2014 movie in the theaters. Then I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters in the theaters, and of course, Kong Skull Island as well. So you had those three movies preceding this one, and there was a lot of hype and this movie was pushed back a couple of times, not only because of COVID, but it was also pushed back even before that. It was delayed. So we finally get this movie. I put it on, I watched it, and without spoiling anything, I will say I did enjoy the film. I did. I think I still like Godzilla 2014 a touch better. I mean, obviously, everyone's gripe with that first movie was that I think what it was how long? Over an hour before we actually got to see Godzilla, or something like that. So yes, I get it. There was a lot. There was way too much anticipation that led up to finally seeing Godzilla. And even when we did see him, you saw his feet or doors would close on a shot of him. He would start to fight one of the mutos or whatever you want to call them, and then they would cut to a human interaction with the human actors, I should say, with Aaron Taylor Johnson or wherever else was on screen. So and then we got Godzilla King of Monsters, and that gave you what you wanted as far as monster battles because that's all the movie was. But then you had the human story, which was just it was weak to me, and that's why I didn't really like that movie as well. Now, granted, I'm not saying that the human interaction or the plot was, you know, uh, Oscar worthy in the original Godzilla 2014, but it still felt a little bit more believable. Again, we're talking about Titans, we're talking about monsters. This is a monsterverse, so I mean, how much of it is believable? But what I'm saying is, like, it was still it was still tangible, if I should say that. In Godzilla King of Monsters still had that believability, or I should say the suspension of disbelief. And, okay, yeah, I get it. They want to free these monsters. They want to free Ghidorah because they feel that wiping away the earth is the way to heal the world. Whatever. Okay. Now you flash forward to this film. I know I'm not talking about Kong Skull Island because that was Kong Skull Island was a movie about exploration, finding an untapped or as far as they thought, an uncharted island, and to find out more about it, the mystery behind it. Obviously, it had like that Bermuda Triangle kind of effect where things went missing. So Kong Skull Island was, again, we're talking about a huge ape, but at the same time, and other creatures, but at the same time, a little bit more tangible, a little bit more believable. Okay, so now you get this movie. I think this one, as far as a balance of action and story, I think it's a more complete film. Uh, I think the fight scenes in it between Godzilla and Kong are unreal and very good. I did enjoy this film, but there were certain things, and again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are certain things, and one can argue, well, Kong is a primate. Kong they have learning skills. They can do things that humans can do or mimic things that humans can do. So there are a few things that he does that I'd be like, oh, all right, well, all right, I get a human can do that, but and we've seen it in the trailer. You know what? I can actually talk about this because we see it in the trailer, and it was one of the things I had issues with in the trailer. Now, visually, it's beautiful. Visually, it's a fucking great scene. Don't get me wrong. But when he grabs the axe and he kind of counters Godzilla's atomic breath with it, you know, I'm not saying that a creature wouldn't know how to shield something like that, but it just, I don't know. It seemed more of a human fight than it did from his angle. I'm not Godzilla, but from his part. And again, I know they're the closest thing to humans. I get it, but bear with me. It's just a couple things he does that just seem too, I don't know. Anyway, that's the least of the issues. Then you have the characters themselves. You have obviously Millie Bobby Brown, which I actually like. I liked her in King of Monsters, and I like the dad. The dad is, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Kyle Chandler. Can't believe I forgot the dad's. Well, that's not his name, but you know what I mean. That's the actor's name. And then of course you got Brian Tyree Henry, and Alexander Skarsgård, Rebecca Hall. Um, Not every scene with these characters are boring because they're not, and I do like the bond that Kong has with the little girl. I think that's probably the best parts of the film as far as the human characters go. I do like Millie Bobby Brown's character. Again, I did like her in the original movies, the previous movie as well. But the interaction between her and Brian Tyree Henry playing Bernie, and the other kid, Dennison, Julian Dennison, I don't know. It was a little too comical, a little too whatever, and it just, again, when you got to, because look, we all know what we want. When you watch a movie like this, you want to see the Titans fight. That's pretty much it. I mean, you do have to have some human elements, and I'm okay with the way, and we already know Mechagodzilla's in it. I'm all right with the way Mechagodzilla is brought forward. That was kind of cool. I'm still a little confused about the whole Ghidorah head, and I'm not really spoiling anything because people, I think, kind of already knew about the Ghidorah head. A lot of people thought or speculated or had a, what do you call it, or rumored that the Ghidorah head was going to be used as like some type of organic material, whatever. But that being said, I'm not going to go into that. I was a little confused by that. But I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so the interaction between the humans, a little weak again. But at the end of the day, like I said, I think the battles between Godzilla and Kong, although brief, definitely make this movie worth watching, if I should say that. I do want to say, and I read a lot of reviews about this before and after, and obviously these are critical reviews because we, as the audience, got to really see it today, unless you got to preview, if you got advanced screening like some other people, but most of the audience got to see it today. So it wasn't many audience reactions that I got to read. It was more critics, and critics hailed this movie. They say it was the best of the movieverse, or the MonsterVerse, which I get. Again, I do really like this movie. I will watch it again. King of Monsters, I've watched a couple of times. Godzilla 2014, I actually went to see it in the theaters twice. That's how much I liked it. I really feel like the build up to that first movie, you were craving, you were hungering for any kind of glimpse of Godzilla, and then you finally get it. And I thought the payoff was executed well in that movie at the end. Godzilla King of Monsters, I mean, that's all you got was monster fights. And now in this one, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I mean, they get a bite, you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight. My issues with this movie is the Hollowed Earth. I think the plot line to Hollowed Earth, not the Hollowed Earth theme itself. I thought it was cool. The Hollowed Earth scene is really cool, but the plot line to which, why they go there and how they get there. This is a movie that's set just a few years, or I honestly don't know the timeline, but I can't imagine it's that far away from the first Godzilla or even the second Godzilla. Obviously, it's decades after Skull Island, but I just feel like the tech that's used in this film is a little bit more advanced than there should be today. I'm not saying things aren't done classified, that, I'm not saying that tech isn't built that we don't know about, but I don't know, just the tech that's used to get to the Hollowed Earth is a little questionable. I was just like, all right, well, all right. What else? So the Hollowed Earth scenes, to me, a little whatever. Suspension of disbelief just wasn't there for me. The axe, again, I think it's cool that he gets a weapon. It's probably needed, especially as an advantage. I mean, look, we already knew Kong was smarter than. I mean, I assume he's smarter than Godzilla. I'm not saying Godzilla's dumb because he's smart as well. He actually does something in this film at the end that's very smart, and it's actually one of my favorite scenes of the film. But you know, Kong has more of a wit. Godzilla has the strength, and he has obviously has the atomic breath and the atomic power. So I guess leveling the field, not only making Kong a lot bigger than the original Kongs that we got, from like the 30s or whatever, but this was leveling the field. He has an ancient battle axe that was assumedly used with his ancestors to combat creatures such as Godzilla or something like that, or of that threat. So, you know, I, I really, I hate sitting here and bashing this film because I could, first of all, I couldn't wait to see it. And in the same breath, I'm telling you guys that it is an enjoyable film. It really is. And most people probably even like it out of all the three. And I really feel like there were people that enjoyed Godzilla King of Monsters more than the original Godzilla 2014. I feel like those people will enjoy this movie, Godzilla versus Kong, even more. I kind of lean towards Godzilla 2014. So that is why I still think it's better than Godzilla King of Monsters. But for me, maybe I have to watch it again. You know what? It does suck too that I wasn't able to watch this one in the theaters. I really did want to see this in IMAX. That could have taken away some things. But again, the action scenes weren't weak for me. They were great. The battle scenes, the visuals were not the issue. So I can't even say that. It was just more of the storyline. It was the plot line. There was some things. Now the way it started, I was like, oh wow, this movie already feels like it's going to be better already. But then we hit these little like, all right, why is he doing that? Or all right, really seriously, that's a little convenient. Couple things that Millie Bobby Brown does as a character just seems like, all right, well, that was a little convenient. And you'll see what I mean when you watch the movie. I was kind of hoping for an end credit scene, maybe to tease something, anything that something's going to happen afterwards. So I guess it's the only spoiler I'm going to tell you. There is no end credit scene. Uh, I do kind of want to rewatch the first part of the film, the credits that roll during the beginning of the film, because there's a lot of information going on, and I know it's a lot of setup and a lot of buildup from the previous films that are just being mentioned or rehashed. But I do want to kind of watch it over again to see if I missed anything. Uh, and that's really basically it. I just, at the end of the day, I think it's a good movie. Uh, I was hyped to see it, so I don't know if maybe I overhyped myself. I know it was getting so many good reviews. Everybody was praising this movie as to be the best of the MonsterVerse. So I don't know if that's what did it. I'm like, oh, well, that's what I meant to say. So basically, when you get to the final act, which again, this is non-spoiler. I really wish I don't know why I chose to do a non-spoiler, but again, the movie did just come out today. So maybe I'll do a spoiler review in like a week or so. But not for nothing, in my personal opinion, I felt like the final act was a little underwhelming. It was a little anticlimactic. And, it was the fight, the way it happened, the this I guys, I want to say more, but I don't want to spoiler it. But or spoil I don't know why I don't want to spoiler it. Fucking I sound like what do you call it? What's the word? I can't even think of the word. Anyway, um without saying anything that's going to spoil anything, it's just the way the final act goes down and the way the final battle goes down. I was hoping for, I guess it's a little, for me, it's a little short. And just the way it goes down again, it's just like, all right, really? That's a little convenient. That little, because there's something that mentioned in an earlier film with the Bernie character that he holds on him. And then, it's kind of like a throwaway line. And then you get it at the end. You're like, oh, really? That's what it was. All right, whatever. So that being said, guys, if I had to score this film, so if I had to score all three, I would probably give the first Godzilla 2014 like an 8. I give Godzilla King of Monsters a 6.5, and I give Godzilla vs Kong a 7.5, and that's just the first viewing. I do want to watch this film again. I mean, I have a month before it goes off of HBO Max. Maybe my review might change. Maybe it'll even get better. Sometimes the second time I watch a film, I actually like it a little bit more than the first. Sometimes I actually like it less. So a second viewing might even tell a little bit more about this film. But again, it was exciting. It was, and the fight scenes are great. I just wish the final battle was a little bit more climactic and just a little bit more of a little more of a payoff. But at the same time, one of my favorite scenes in that film, maybe even my best, because I said that earlier, so I got to kind of walk that back because I'm not really sure if that's my favorite scene in the film. But there is something that Godzilla does at the final act that is pretty cool. It is cool. But at the same time, still anticlimactic. All right, but that's it, guys. That is my quick non-spoiler reaction or review, whatever you want to call it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you've seen it, what you guys thought. Does my review, and again, I know I rambled a couple of times. I'm sorry about that. This is an unedited, recorded stream, so I really can't go back and change things. I got to learn how to edit shit. So cut me a little slack. But I really do want to hear what you guys had to think about the movie. What did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy it? Did my review kind of make sense without saying anything really? Because I don't want to spoil anything. But let me know about that. Like the stream, please. Helps out with my channel. I really am continuing or trying to continue to grow. So anything that helps out the channel obviously is appreciated. And please subscribe if you haven't, because I do things like this. I do Marvel reviews, DC reviews, Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars is my favorite, and all kind of things like that. So, all right, guys, enjoy your the rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy your upcoming weekend, and if you haven't seen Godzilla vs Kong, please go do so. It's definitely worth watching. And that's it, guys. Have a great day. Just your average Joe signing out.